About 2 years ago, our good friend, Chairman Kevin Confetti, shared some information with us about an organization, an amazing organization called Kids Chance California. This is a nonprofit, charitable organization whose mission is to provide need-based educational scholarships to the children of workers who have been fatally or seriously injured on the job. What an amazing gift that would be. So we decided that day that not only would CCWC make a donation, I remember I was in that meeting, to Kids Chance California, but we'd also help in getting the word out about this organization. And that's what we're here today to talk about. So we're very pleased to have with us once again this year, Maria Henderson, president of Kids Chance California, to tell you more about the important service that this organization provides. Please listen carefully. Please be involved. And please join me in welcoming Maria Henderson to the stage.
Good afternoon. How everybody doing today? Good. Good. Kids Chance of California. How many folks have heard the presentation before? Okay. Oh, good. We have a few newbies in here. Great. Kids Chance of California was started in 2012, and the mission is to provide need-based scholarships to the children of California's workers, as John mentioned, that have been fatally or seriously injured on the job. I do want to point out need-based. A lot of scholarships out there require a merit-based. You have to have a really excellent GPA, not only to get the scholarship, but to maintain it. We think our kids have been through enough. If they can get into college, we're going to give them a scholarship. If they struggle the first year, we're going to give them another chance and keep coming back with that money. And that's a really important kind of distinction. Ironically, 2 hours ago, I was sitting out in the lobby and my phone rang, and it was a scholar that we haven't been able to keep up with since September, Brittany. She had gone off to school in a different state and was playing softball and got injured, struggled with her grades. Family was involved in the Napa earthquake, had a little bit of issues. She came back, and she's been struggling, bouncing around in community colleges. And I had reached out to her family with several emails and said, wherever she is, let us know, we'll help her out. And she called and said, I was embarrassed. I was supposed to be pre-med. I was going to be a softball star. And I said, send your application in. I don't care where you're going to school, Brittany, we've got your back. So it's need-based, it's not merit-based, although most of our kids are doing really good in school. Okay. I just want to point out that this board of directors has been around since 2012. And what I love about Kids Chance, and there's about 29 Kids Chance organizations across the United States. It was started in Georgia in 1988. California is one of the newer states. Look at this. We've got employers, we've got defense attorneys, plaintiff attorneys, medical, TPAs, insurance companies. When we sit down at the table to look at these kids, we don't bring that adversarial stuff from the workers' comp system. We come to pay forward in workers' comp. And these folks have been around for 3 years and are doing amazing work. Several of them are here today. We've got Mary Baranowski, Kevin Confetti, Chris Thomas. I think that might be it in the room. Did we lose Linda? She went out? Okay, great. Funding is so important for our organization, and as I mentioned, the board got together in 2012, but it took us 14 months to get our 501(c)(3) through to the IRS. These organizations stepped up and gave us $50,000 in pledge money before we even had our 501(c), which is quite a commitment, and that really allowed us to start giving scholarships and to get going. So I really want to thank Boxer Garrison, Paradigm, CSIA, and Sedgwick, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the 12 scholars out the door that we have today. We also have several sponsors that have given us large amounts of money over the years. We've got our gold sponsors up here. Many of them are in the room. And from a silver sponsor, we have a lot of individuals in the room here. I really do want to thank CCWC for giving us this visibility once a year. We have an event that we do. It's not a fundraising event. It's a thank you to our scholars event. So if the lucky you in the room that are coming tomorrow night, if you're a sponsor or you have at least given $500 as an individual contributor, we have 4 of our scholars that are attending to tell their stories at our reception tomorrow. And I'm going to highlight them, as well as one additional whose sister is coming to speak on his behalf, and we'll explain that. So, if you've seen me speak before, you know the Andrade brothers. We have been working with the Andrade brothers for 3 years now. They're going to be here tomorrow at our event. I'm happy to say that Isaac's doing really well at California Irvine, still majoring in computer science and engineering. And Nathaniel is just about finished at Riverside Community College with his degree in mechanics. For those of you who haven't heard this story, the Andrades lost their father in 2006 in a fatal accident at work. It was a really bad fall, and about a week later he passed away. The Andrades' mother did not speak any English. The father was kind of the rock of the family, and she could not deal with this and ended up abandoning the Andrade brothers and their sister Elizabeth, and they were spread into foster care into 3 different homes. Their mother, Lillian, their grandmother, Lillian, the dad's mother, came up from Mexico and through a court battle got them back out and into her home. And so with Lillian's help and her strong arm, she's got a strong arm, she got those 2 boys into college with a little bit of help from us. And then we just found out their sister Elizabeth is going to college again, is going to college this fall, and we'll be picking up Elizabeth if she gets her application in. Brianna will also be here tomorrow. Brianna's father was a LA County deputy sheriff, and Brianna also started out in foster care as a child and then was adopted by Emma and David Powell, and then when she was 7, David was killed in the line of duty, so it's just Emma and Brianna. She is now in her 2nd year at Cal State Fullerton, and she wants to be a speech therapist. She's finishing up her degree, so she'll be here tomorrow too. Okay, Trent Johnson's actually in the room, and his father is going to be speaking next. Dwight Johnson is the Work Comp Central Injured Worker of the Year, and he's going to be coming up. So I'm not going to get too much into Dwight's story because he'll do that. But I want to let you know, when I read Trent's essay, I felt like there was a theme song of Thank God I'm a Country Boy going on in the background. It was like music in my head. It's really nice to see a young individual that wants to go into agricultural engineering. I think we have a big need for that right now. So Trent's been accepted at the University of Idaho, and he plans to study agricultural engineering. And Trent, can I give you like a little wave? Yes. So you're going to hear more about Trent's story from his dad. Last but not least, I want to talk to you about Cameron Tolmar. And if I can have your patience, I'm actually going to read the essay that he submitted, if I can get through it. As you can see from the screen, Cameron lost both of his parents, and I want to tell you his story. My name is Cameron Tolmar. I was born on October 1997 in Long Beach, California. I'm the 2nd of 2 children born to Robert and Valerie Tolmar. I have an older sister, Chantel. I come from a family of hardworking individuals. My father was a Creole man born in Louisiana. At 18, he joined the U.S. Marines. He served his country, honorably discharged. From there, he moved to California, attended Cal State Northridge, obtained his bachelor's degree in poli-sci, later joined the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and had a successful career for over 25 years. When he retired, he went into private security work. My mother was born and raised in LA. She attended Compton Community College and was hired into the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department and worked 30 years before she was medically retired. On Christmas Eve in 2003, the family was on their way to church. My father got a call that an alarm had gone off in a building. He wanted to take the call and not interrupt any of his other workers. So he took a different car, and on that evening, a speeding motorist ran a red light and he was killed. Words cannot express how painful it was to lose my father. My father was the rock, the leader, and the protector of our family. This was a very dark time emotionally and financially for my family. He was 6 at that time. In December of 2007, my mother was diagnosed with kidney cancer and given a life expectancy of 4 months. After 5 years of litigation, that kidney cancer was found to be from prolonged exposure when she worked in the prison in the ceramics lab. My sister, being a fighter, would not accept or own that. We traveled all over the country to alternative and traditional clinics for cancer. The hardest was seeing my mom have her entire right arm amputated due to cancer. My mother put up a good fight. However, the disease was stronger. On July 24th, 2012, after 5 years of fighting, my mother lost her battle. This destroyed all that was left of my family, which included my sister, who at the time was 27, my niece, age 4, and I was 14. I felt life was over with no hope and nothing to look forward to. My sister shared with me several weeks later that while my mother was on her deathbed, she asked her to make sure I went to college. College was something I hadn't even imagined. I failed each and every one of my classes my freshman year of high school. I couldn't focus on school with my mother's illness. I felt like my teachers didn't care about me. But my sister kept telling me it was what my mother and father wanted me to do. I felt I owed it not only to them, but to myself to try to make something of myself. Sophomore year, I worked hard. I excelled in my classes. It was challenging. I gave up a lot of fun time, but my hard work paid off. And not only now am I graduating college, but I am eligible for 4 years. He was recently accepted into Arizona State University. I also got involved in my community in my last years of high school. I joined the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department Explorer Program. I also got involved with Comfort Zone, an organization for kids that have experienced a loss of parent to cancer. In addition to that, I became active with several groups of college-bound students from across the nation. The pain of losing our parents has made my sister and me very close. This great loss molded and shaped me into the hardworking young man I am today. This year, being my senior year of high school, I'm so excited and looking forward to the future. I hope people hear my story, are inspired and motivated by it. I've endured so much at such a young age, but it hasn't stopped me. I still have a long journey ahead of me, but I'm excited and can't wait to positively embrace what God has in store for me. I ask you 3 things. Give of your own, whatever you can give. Ask your company to sponsor. Or go back and find these kids in your caseload and refer them to us. Our biggest issue is not raising money, it's finding these kids. Look at your death cases. When those dependency checks end at age 18 for a kid, send them to Kids Chance. Let them know that there are scholarships available. Look at your catastrophic and your serious cases. Any of their kids or teenagers, let us know. We want to get them in. And if you can't do that, come over to the booth. Well, it's kind of like a string of signs that we have going on. We're like the vertical booth that goes. And let us know if you have anything that you can do to volunteer, in-kind services. Let us know. Guys, we have given 12 scholarships out, but there are 400 fatalities in the state of California every year. There are so many more families that we have not reached. So help us raise the money, find the kids, and put the two together. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Kids Chance.